Good luck, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, good luck, everyone.
We're all here and we are all live for yet another Secret Sewing Club. So, just introduce everybody. So above me, I've got Katrina, and then over. No, that yes, this way. Okay, there's Maria up in this corner over here, and next to me we have Anthea. Hello, ladies. Everybody sorted for Christmas?
Hello. Yeah,
Yes.
ish.
Ish.
Nearly.
For obvious
I'm nearly.
reasons, it'll be an incredibly cheap one this year.
Well, yes, yeah, there is a little bit of that, isn't there?
Homemade is good.
Yes. Well, I've got a homemade present planned, but unfortunately, the fabric I need for it is down south, so it's going to be a bit of a rush job on Christmas Eve, I think. So what is everybody up to over Christmas? I'll go round in a little circle, so we're not all chatting over each other. So Anthea, what are your plans?
Oh well, we've got we're going to Mum and Dad's on Christmas Day, and then Boxing Day we're going to Sarah's house, so that should be good fun. And then the kids descend from Boxing Night onwards, and chaos will just begin from there. Can't wait! I'm really looking forward to it.
And Maria,
I'm going to be at home. We're in Plymouth at the moment, and we're buying a new bungalow.
lovely.
Hopefully by February. So we're just going to have our last Christmas here. But it'll be quiet. But I'm trying to get a lot of reading done as well.
Oh, I don't know, reading and moving and Christmas all at the same time.
Yeah.
You've got your work cut out, I think.
Just go to a corner and read every time something needs doing that you don't want to do.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I've got. Yeah.
And Katrina.
Well, we're having a relaxed Christmas. We've just got our close family coming to on Christmas Day and Boxing Day. So we've got the grandchildren coming on Boxing Day. So it'll be all go, but at a slow pace, I think.
Are you doing all the cooking?
I'm doing all the cooking.
Oh.
Well, Ted's doing some. Ted's doing, a fancy ceviche for a starter with halibut. So that's going to be good. Yeah. So, it's a big part of the day, isn't it?
So does he just kind of try and swoop in and do one big fancy thing? And then you pick up the pieces for the rest of it.
Yeah. I think it'll be exciting. It just happens, and everybody will enjoy it. It'll be fun.
Excellent.
Hayley, people are saying you're quiet.
Oh, they always say this, and I don't know why. Because I'm up full beans.
You'll have to put your big teacher's voice on.
Okay, I'll do some shouting. How's that? I'll do some shouting. I haven't got as far as logging into Facebook yet because I was keeping an eye on YouTube. But it is all good. So I'll quickly, now we've said hello to everybody, explain how Secret Sewing Club works. It does not work the same as things like Sewing Street and Create and Craft. There is not one central point that you buy through. When we go through and everybody does the demonstrations, there'll be a little QR code pops up on the screen. That is the QR code directly to these guys' websites. So hop on there and you can buy anything that you see today directly from their websites. So who did we say was first? I think it's Katrina. She looks, she's kind of looking.
I'm all set to go. I have.
Okay. Well, you can take it away then. What have you got today? Actually, I didn't ask you.
Okay, we've got some fabulous designs. I've brought more designs this time so we've got 7 different designs, all easy designs, but featuring poppies, featuring a pin cushion, lots of different variety, but all easy stitches. So it's the sort of thing that if you've never done any stitching before, you'll be able to do this. If you're an experienced stitcher, you'll still have lots of fun. So there are lots of quick projects as well with card kits as well. So I'm just going to start and show you those. I think. So the first one, this one is called
I was
Meadow
listening to you, but I had turned my mic off, so I could talk to the other people and turn them off. But yes, if you're set to go, then go for it. I will be here if you need a hand, and just give me a shout. I'll give you a call if there's any questions or anything that we get from people on Facebook or YouTube.
That sounds great. Right, I'm ready to go. So I'm just going to show you the first design. This design is worked on a tweed fabric that we have woven for us. It's called Meadow Jewels. It's really, really easy stitching. If you're looking at the design, you know, it's 4 or 5 different stitches, and I just love sparkle and beads. So there'll be a little bit of a few sequins, a few beads to add if you wish. So the design comes with, if I just bring, that's the finished design. If I just bring the whole kit over, the whole kit, it's one of the things we've done as when we first started is to have everything in the kit that you're going to need to do your project. So we've got the threads. If I just turn those around there, we've got a collection of threads. Some of these they're just fabulous colours to work with. We've got the stranded cottons that a lot of people know. We've got variegated threads, and we've also got some fantastic yarns from the Shetlands. And obviously, I still need a little bit of sparkle on the threads. So the threads, there's no drawing involved. The fabric is printed. So I'm just going to show you the size of this piece. So this piece shows the print so that you actually have a guide to follow. It's really, really clear. I mean, there's not every line on the fabric, but just enough to start the design process going on. And then in your kit, just so that you've got a little bit of colour, a little bit of texture, quite liking to add organzas to create the design. So once you've pinned that on the fabric, you just ignore it completely. It's just there to give a little bit of a background, a little bit of texture in your design. So the first thing when you get your kit, that's what you're going to do first. And now the one that I've got here, I've done a little bit more on there just to show you how that works. So I'm looking at this one here. I've got this a spring hoop on there. It's a brilliant idea. When you're working, it's going to keep your stitching taut. It's going to be, it's movable around your project. And so it's called a spring hoop. This is the 7-inch one that I'm using, and it's so easy to use. So to actually make that work, all that you do is you take the plastic spring and then you put your work right side down, and then you just hold the spring, and that's just going to clip into place, and it's just going to keep your work taut. And obviously if the hoop gets in the way, you're just going to move that out of the way very easily. So the first thing I'm going to do, most of my, I mean, I look at some of the designs and sometimes I think they look complicated, but they're really, really easy. Really, the basis of the design is straight stitch. So straight stitch, that's for the grasses. It can be in a different direction. It can be horizontal. It can be diagonal. But the first way to start is really just have a glance at the instructions, and it'll start. You'll know exactly which part to start on. And we're actually going to start with a little bit in the foreground here of the grasses. So that's the easiest stitch to do. I mean, I start with a knot. To knot or not, you just choose what you would like to do. And I'm just going to use a couple of stitches just to show you the idea. So the print, you're going to stitch the first ones over the print, and that gives you an idea of the actual size to do. So once you've got going on this stitch, you're really going to work back and forth over the threads, and you're just going to create a little bit of messy grass, if you like. And it's just easy to do. And actually, once you start stitching, the idea of this is relaxing. It's not meant to be so precise that you've got to follow a chart or anything like that. It's just free stitching, and really you just work the needle back and forth all the way over, and it's just going to create a little bit of texture. So the straight stitch is really, most of Rowandean's designs worked with straight stitch, and it's really, really easy to do. So I'm just going to add a couple of those, and then you can change colour, and that'll give the idea of more of a meadow effect. And the fabric's great, so it's 100% wool. It's lovely to hold and lovely to stitch through. So it means you can use textured threads, you can use fine threads, you can use beads. So as the thread gets a little bit shorter, once your thread's 5 or 6 centimeters in length, you're just going to fasten off the thread at the back. Really, really easy to do. And then just snip those threads off. And as you go through your design, you'll work all the way through. So the instructions take you through one half of the design and the other half, and you just work all the foliage and all the grasses first. And then the next thing is to actually maybe create a little bit of texture. And I'm going to show you how to do that with straight stitch with a French knot. So I'm just going to get a little bit of the thread. They're on an organizer so that you can keep the colours and you can find the colours. So in the instructions it would say use number 5 or number 6 and how many strands of thread it would use. So it's easy to do, but it's not set in stone like a counted method of stitching. So just the idea is it's meant to be relaxing, really easy to do, and you can pick up your stitching really, really easy and just work as much as you want. But I know when I start a design, once you start, you can't stop. So, just take your time to start with, enjoy the stitches. They don't have to be perfect. You'll get that. The more you stitch, the more relaxing it becomes and easy. So I'm just going to show you, this is one of my favourite stitches. So this is a French knot.
I've got a message in from Leslie, and she says that her mum loves Rowandean projects, still works them, and she's 84.
Brilliant.
And she's still going. I mean, hand stitching is quite nice though, because it's quite a kind of nice, slow process, and you can go as fast or as slow as you can take yourself, can't you?
Absolutely, and that's the thing about it. You can sit and chat in the kitchen with everybody. You can sit in the garden and stitch. You can anywhere you can stitch, and it's relaxing. It's something you can
also have kind of one eye on the telly or one eye on the rest of what's going on in the room and still be involved because you're not behind a machine.
That's right. So it's very portable, and it's a social thing. So you can watch the television and just really work as much of the design as you want.
You've got another lovely message from Pen. She says, "Wonderful designs."
Oh, thank you.
I shall let you crack on.
The thing about doing the French knots is that really they look really complicated, but they're not really complicated at all. So to do the stitch, you hold the thread about a couple of centimeters above the surface, and then you're just going to go around once, twice, and as you take the needle down, point down, you're not going to go into the same place exactly, almost like one thread over, and then you just push the needle in, and as soon as you push the point of the needle in, you're just going to tighten that thread, and that sort of keeps the thread twizzled around the needle, so that when you pull the needle through to the other side, just let go and it'll travel in all by itself. Don't be tempted to guide it with your finger and guide it into place. It'll tend to get in a knot there. So you just really, you get into the rhythm of the stitch, which is something really, once you know the stitch, you've done it a couple of times, you can do thousands and thousands of these. I tried to think how many million French knots I've done. So it's a great thing to do, and you can add them anywhere. You can add them into the center of flowers. You can add them all over your design, and it's just a really lovely stitch. So I think what I'm going to do now, I think time drifting, I'm going to just move to a different one.
Yeah, no problem.
Now this design here, this is a pincushion. And so it's a pincushion that I've designed. It's something that's really, really easy to do. It's not complicated to make, but this is worked on what's something called, it's a tweed fabric as well that we have woven. It's called pistachio. And so in the kit, you're going to construct everything to construct your pincushion. It's got magnets inside so it can hold the scissors. You can use it as a working item, so which is quite nice to make. that's something that's quite useful. But all the stitching, you're going to enhance the whole design before you finish the design, before you make it into the pincushion. It's just a great thing to do. I've got beads, I've got padded satin stitch, a few French knots on there, but eventually you'll make it into your an item, if you like. So this is what it looks like when it's started. So when you first start in your kit, you'll get all the threads to work the design, and you'll have a fabric on here where the simple design is worked, and you'll have some organzas. So the first thing on this design, before you start stitching, you're just going to take a little bit of the organza and you're going to place that over the fabric and just pin it on. So in your kit, you'll find you've got teal and shades of green, lots and lots of different colours. And to start with, you're just going to take the fabric on the bias. So that means the sort of stretchy part of the fabric, and you're just going to cut a little piece and just take a little tiny piece, slithers really, of the organza, and just take those across. And then you're going to be a bit mean to them, and you're just going to fray them. So you just take a little bit of fabric and you're just going to distort it a little bit, and then this is going to be placed over the design and then pinned on to the background. And once it's pinned onto the background, you can either tack it in place, just a temporary stitch to keep it in place, or you can just leave the pins in. So I'm just going to take a little piece there, and eventually this is just going to create the effect of water on your design.
Right, we've got Pen back on, and she is now singing the praises of your tweed fabric that you use within your project kits.
It's absolutely delightful. It's a really high quality fabric. The company that makes this makes fabulous tweeds, so it's really worth. I think it's just beautiful to stitch, and I just love this color. It is that color of pistachio, and you can use it for lots of different designs, cushions. We sell it in a fat quarter, so that means if want to do your own designs, you can use this. We have it in the natural and the pistachio, so it's really, really beautiful to hold. So I'm just going to, I've got my design here, and this time I'm using the 5-inch hoop, and the magnet will catch on for the moment. So you're going to work your design again. This time, the same idea. You'll follow the instructions, and you'll go through the water. You'll find the dragonfly there. You'll find all the little bits of texture to do, and everything step by step. And eventually, your design will build up into the complete design. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of a stitch. But I think this is the fun bit. Once you get past your design, and I do know quite a few of our customers have just made it into a picture, haven't made it into a pincushion, but you could do that if you wish. But if you're going to make it into a pincushion, then I've included a magnet in the kit, 2 magnets. And so to hold the magnet on, either while you're working or whether you're turning it into a pincushion, just put the magnet inside a little bit of cotton, and so that you're stitching the magnet onto the wrong side of the fabric, and that's going to be included, and it'll stay in. All the excess fabric will be inside your pincushion when you start to construct it. But it's a really nice way of keeping your work or your scissors or your pins on there. So
perfect. Well, what I'll do, if it's all right with you, is I'll quickly take people over to your website so they can see where all those lovely kits are, and then we will join back together with everybody else. So this is the Rowandean website. See that loads of beautiful photography of all those kits on there, and all the ones that Katrina is showing you at the minute should be in this kind of featured section here. There's the pincushion down the bottom there. Boop. And there are those brilliant hoops as well, the spring hoops that Katrina was just showing you. So let me go and find everybody else. Is everybody back? Yes, because it's Anthea that you've got to check for, because she has a tendency a tendency to wander.
What?
Yes, you. Yes, you. Oh, I think last week was the worst because no, last week wasn't too bad. We had Sarah Payne and Gail and Sasha, I think, last week. Maybe it was the week before that, and I was just having to constantly text people going, "Come back," because they just all wandered off. I don't know what they were thinking. So, if everybody's sorted for Christmas, then what is okay? Because last week we did kind of what was the best and worst gifts that people have got. What was the biggest, either the biggest Christmas success or the biggest Christmas disaster that we've had?
Oh, come on.
Well, my dearly
I was going to say
beloved-
Anthea's going to have one.
Oh, yes. My dearly beloved, who's standing right there and can be shamed by this, but he won't be. He said, I'm the hardest person ever to buy gifts for. I'm a crafter, idiot. Anyway, so I said, look, gold and diamonds, they're never off the list, ever. So if you're stuck, that's fine. So this really small parcel went under the tree, and I thought, I got really, really excited, and I opened it, and it was some ever-ready gold batteries.
Oh.
AA batteries.
Oh, right. Oh,
Needless
that's
to
good.
say, he knew he'd got the wrong thing. Even though he didn't realise it himself, he did by the end of Christmas.
I think the worst one my mum said she got an ironing board cover one year. I don't think it was like main present, but she's like, no, Christmas present should never be something that you need. It should always be something more exciting than that.
Yeah. Well, a lady who worked for me once got a hose pipe because that's what her husband needed.
That's no good. You can't buy presents for people, then it just be what you need. Maria, what's been your worst one?
In a train station.
Oh, he's chipping in now.
Oh yeah, he's getting his own back.
So Maria, what was your worst one?
I think I accidentally got someone else's present,
Oh.
which was really obscure. It was actually from a workplace.
Yeah.
I think it was supposed to be a scarf, but someone else had my present. And then I got something to do with, I think it was to do with drills or screwdriving. Because it was meant to be for a guy that worked with.
Was it like a Secret Santa gone wrong kind of thing?
I thought, why I forgot this? Or maybe I ought to do some more DIY. Maybe I ought to learn. But yeah, that was quite funny. That was at work for some reason. And she realised and she was, oh, I'm really sorry I got your wrong gift. So that was quite funny.
And Katrina, I can't believe that Ted hasn't given you something dreadful.
Well, no, I don't think he has. That's the weird thing. He's quite good at working out what I just drop hints all year, of course. But really, the presents are really, really. Some of them are quite useful because I like gardening as well. So I often get a pair of secateurs and all these sorts of things. But I love that, because I only lose them in the garden anyway. So it's always really, really good.
Well, fair enough.
No.
We've got a domestic going down in this bottom corner here. Just can't take you anywhere, Anthea, can we? Can't. Well, actually, seeing as you're in full flow, you can. You're up next, aren't you? Have you got your stuff ready?
I've got do you know what? I had my stuff ready before for this part anyway.
Excellent.
Next part,
Okay. Well,
this part.
off you go.
Yeah. Right. So, welcome. Merry Christmas. We're nearly there, and this in fact my last sewing secret. What do we call ourselves? Secret Sewing Club before the big day. So I'm thinking, what can we do? So once again, I'm going to tell you about our clubs and classes and all that kind of thing, because there's 2 new classes which I've put on the webpage, which you're very welcome to join. So one's the 6th and one's the 13th of January. Both are on Mondays, and I'll show you what we've got. So the first one is a block keeper. So we've been doing these online classes, and I asked people what they wanted to do. And the feedback came, we want to do a block keeper. So over the years, we've done 3 versions of this particular design. So if you do want to sign up, you're going to get the appliques for all 3. Now, I can't juggle all the lot in my hand at once. I've got 2 of them. So one of them is a cute lamb. One's a traditional sewing machine. And the third, it's a set of tumbling teddy bears, looking like they're at the circus. So it's really easy. We just, in fact, let me open the other one. The purpose of a block keeper, let me just tell you. I mean, I'm sure we all know, but keep your blocks nice and flat. These are my daughter's sampler blocks when she started her first quilt. They've been in here years. Look how flat they are, flat as pancakes. So it's a great thing to do because we've all had them blocks, you know, where we don't know what to do with them. We drop them on the floor. They get shoved in the bottom of your bag and then they get all tatty. But more than anything else through winter, doing an online class, it's kind of a really nice thing to do if you're a bit lonely. Come and spend a day with me and make friends with other people too. We'll make the class. We do it over. We'll make the block keeper. I'll show you the other thing in a sec. But we just have a really nice time. The classes are delivered over Zoom. If you've never done Zoom before, just get in touch and we can arrange for a little trial. So we can do it. I can, I'll be on the phone, talk you through it. If you're struggling, whatever, we can get you there. And then once you've had a little trial, then you can decide whether you think it's for you or you don't think it's for you. You can blur out your background so no one's going to have a look in your house if that's kind of, making you nervous. So we can do that. The other class, the Monday after, is in a Tweed box, which is here. So they're also known as exploding boxes. You take the lid off. It's best to do it on a flat table, obviously. In fact, I could do it on a flat table. Do you know what? They've given me the buttons. I've got the buttons to press, so let me have a go. Let me see if I can do it. Right, get ready for this. This is the box. Yep. Take the lid off. Ta-da!
10 out of 10 for button pressing.
So this is the exploding box. In the class, we will do a base, we'll do a lid, and we'll do at least one outside and a variety of inside walls. The class is just going to be for the 4 sides, but you'll get the pattern that'll allow you to take it further if you want to. Just see how far we go, or rather how far we get on the day. And the other thing is, if you're a bit nervous about keeping up, we can always arrange a finishing class. So if you think that you're not keeping up, gives you some chance to go away, have a play, and then the finishing class is always done kind of by mutual arrangement, really.
Anthea,
what?
I've got Jeanette asking where are the classes, or the details are
so
on
if
your
you
website.
go in secret, so on my website.
Right, I'm just gonna go and bring it.
Sarah's gonna put a link on.
Oh, perfect! Thank you so much.
Follow the QR code. And on the website, there's some blue tabs down one side. I think the top one, Secret
Online
Sewing
classes.
Club,
right.
Find them in there.
If you just give me a second, I will put up your website and talk people through it. They won't be able to hear you, but they'll be able to hear me. Just bear with 1 second. So, Jeanette, you were looking for classes. If you go onto the website, and then the menu is just down the side here, and then can you just see there, online classes? If you click that, then that will take you to all of the... Oh, I thought that said adult only there. I thought, what on earth's she up to now? I wouldn't put it past you, mind. Adult only sewing classes. You're back in the room, my lovely.
No. Yeah, so just go on there. There's other classes on there that the date's passed, but what we've done for each class, and we will do for these, is we do a little tutorial. So you can get a video. It's kind of a private video that you just get access to. So again, if you sign up and then on the day you're feeling grotty because you've got a lurgy, you'll get, the video isn't released till after the class, but for classes that have passed, I would post out the pattern and send you the link to the video. So if you're going to pick one that's already happened, that's there for you also. Right, so also this week we have got, where's my blinking list gone? Where's it gone? So we've got the clubs as well, and I know some people are dying to join these clubs. Let me just ask my glamorous assistant, Donis, could you just get me a bag out of that box, please? No, just the one will do fine. We have online classes. So the large class, you will get the equivalent of 1/2 metre of wool tweed, whether that's a full 1/2 metre, 2 quarters, 4 eighths, 2 of our charisma packs, which is kind of our version of I'll do pretty colours, our version of, not that one, the one with the picture of the countryside on the front, our version of a charm pack. Could you get the bag out of that, please? So or a combination of any, plus you will also get patterns as well. So in the large club, it's equivalent to 1/2 metre and 3 patterns. In the small club, it's the equivalent to a fat quarter and 1 pattern. And then we also have a bag club. And the bag club, you subscribe over 3 months to make it easy. And then on the 3rd month, we'll make a bag. Now, these bags are kept secret until the day, but when I'm planning, I'm listening to what people are wanting anyway. And I can now show you the one that we did in our first bag club last month. We did this one. So it's kind of shoulder bag there with the nice flap, and we spent a day decorating the flap, and then we made the whole bag as well, and it went really, really well. So so I listened to what people said, and we're designing around this. So you'll get like a few days before the class, week, let's say, before the class, you'll get the kit. Now, I'm working to a budget, obviously, because you're paying so much every month. If I'm going to do a project that needs more, let's say I might ask you to provide lining, because we've all got some lining knocking about. It just means that I can give you more of the good stuff if you can just provide. I'm cheap for the rest of the stuff, so don't worry about that. We're also quite relaxed. So if you're joining midway through, or you skint 1 month or something like that, we can always say, right, well, do a bit extra here or whatever. We make it up as we go along. So that's our bag club.
Anthea,
online classes.
On the bag club, it's Jeanette said, oh, that's brilliant, thank you. She's not always able to join due to ill health, but can she access the tutorial after the class?
Yes.
Perfect.
So there's always a tutor. In fact, I still owe the one for the last class. We filmed it and then I didn't like something, so we're just refilming it. But yeah, they're usually all ready to go when the class is finished, and they're out straight away. So yeah, it takes you all the way through the project. So it's me making one and filming what I did, and then we edit out all the boring bits and just give you the bits that you need. You know, I can start a seam, but you don't need to see me sew all the way down the seam, that kind of stuff. So yeah, so this was our first bag club. Just join in, you know, whatever. I like to think I'm quite approachable. If you don't understand something, or you've got bogged down or whatever, just let me know. And oops, Donis, if you could grab that. I've also put on there our block of the month. Now, I haven't hung any of the quilts up today because I've got other stuff behind me that I wanted to show. But all our blocks of the month I've put on, and the reason that they're on this time, well, I'll just keep putting them on anyway. But I just thought, if somebody needed to buy you a subscription for Christmas, there you go. So we've got several running, and what we do, in fact, just by fluke, I've got one here. So this is a lady who she's just subscribed to one of our block of the months, and I'm just in the process of putting all the different packets together for her. These will go in a large bag with her name on, and then nobody will touch these. They're safe for her, and then you get back in touch with me when you're ready, and I send the next one out, and so on and so forth. So
Anthea, I've got another quick question about your exploding box course.
Yeah.
Sharon's looking to book it, but she needs to arrange it around her job.
Okay.
So just, yeah, how long is the course?
So we will be starting at 11 in the morning, and on that Monday we will finish at 4 o'clock. I say 4 o'clock prompt. 4 o'clock fairly prompt, because I've got somewhere else to be at 5 o'clock. So we will be finishing then. don't worry. I can give you the joining thing, and you can dip in and out across the day. We can make things work for anybody. So if you don't fit into the mold that we've set, just get in touch and we'll find a way, and we can do things that way. We try and be as relaxed as we can, really. So right, so the next thing I wanted to show you, now I took all these off my website. So in lockdown, I know we're miles past lockdown, but for us businesses, we're still catching up a lot of the stuff. When we were working at home, I just couldn't keep up. So what I did, I took everything off the website that needed effort, because if I got behind, people were getting cross and all the rest of it. And I've got a box of pre-cut tweed fat quarters that I've just pulled out, that have been sat there. All these have been in their own individual bags, being looked after and all the rest. So I've put these on, and I've given you them at a discount, because these were originally the old price before the rise, which now is 20% lower than they're currently being sold for. So I'm just going to switch cameras and I'll give you a little look through. So we've got the parquet rhubarb, which is a gorgeous blend of kind of pink and a greeny yellow. It's just like rhubarb and custard sweeties. We've got the Pacific blue, a wool fat quarter as well. I'll just mention, if we can fit it all under the camera, is wider than you expect with cotton. So it's 54 usable inches wide. So the full width is about 10 inches wider than we're used to with cotton. So you do get lots. Now, this is my favourite. I'm expecting this to sell out today. This is called Tokyo Heather. There's not a lot of this one. So if you want it, I pretty much would grab it while it's there. As I said, there's not a lot of that one. And then we've got your favourite spots. Now, when I do remnant shows, we do the spots, and I've bought remnants in. These are not remnants. So we've got the multi-spot lime. I will open them out in a sec and show you. We've got the grey and we've got the beige. Now, I'm just going to isolate these from the rest of the stack, because there doesn't seem to be a massive difference between the beige and the lime. So let me open them out. So on the other side, because of how they're woven, this it's kind of positive and negative. So where the threads are carried, behind the grey here, they appear here. And where the grey is carried behind the spot there, it appears here. So that's the grey. It's its own self-coordinate. This is the lime. And then the beige or neutral, I kind of use both terms interchangeably, is here. So beige, there you go. Lime, not a lot of difference on that side, but I think there's quite a bit of difference on the other side. And that's the grey. There you go. So there's those three colours there in the spots. And then there's also the multi-check, which are divine, these. I always think they're a bit more contemporary. So this is the lime. You've got these gorgeous kind of a plum, a dark heather.
Does the lime one match with the lime spotty?
Yes.
Just
bring that in. Yes, it's the same lime.
Was looking at the colours and thinking, oh, that would work together.
Yeah. And these are all from the Abraham Moon Woolen Mill as well. So anybody who knows Abraham Moon, you're getting quality. It's as good as it gets. And then we've got the grey. Now, I think this is really contemporary. It just looks so clean and nice. And then you've got the beige. I'll put the beige and I'll show it on its own here in like this. And then I will put those two together because they look quite similar when you do them like this. But when I hold them up to the camera, it is definitely lime, and that's definitely more biscuity. Depends what you like. They're both beautiful. And sometimes when I pull them out the boxes, I have to do a second take. So there's those there. And then there are also, when we've been doing our events wherever, and we do lots of charisma packs. Now, so charm packs, I believe that word is patented by Moda. Well, we don't have charm babes. We've got charisma. So
I have
So we've
another
got
question for you just on those
Okay,
fabrics,
yeah.
just before you move on. Jessica wants to know, can you use either side?
Yes.
I mean, obviously,
yes,
I
you
know
can.
the right side would, in theory,
Yes.
be the spotted side.
Yes.
But could you
We've
use the
used
side
both
with the
sides
squares if you
lots.
wanted to?
In fact, let me prove it. Can I prove it here? Yes, I can. This throw here, that's the multi-check grey. That's the grey spot one side, and that's the other side of the grey. We've got all the lot in that project, which I'd not even thought about before we came on air. So yes, we are using quite happily both sides. And that's one of the beauties of wool. It doesn't have a wrong side. It just has two right sides or a double A side or something like that. So yeah, definitely you can use both. If you've got any questions, just put them on here. I can answer them publicly, or send me a private message and we can deal with that. So back to our charisma packs. What a charisma pack is for us, it's 20 5-inch squares of wool. Now, the 5-inch square means that if you've got the books that do, all the pre-cut things, you'll know that you can use these. So this one here is the Gardener's World. Am I better showing downhill? Let's have a look. So Gardener's World, we did the Gardener's World quilt. This will not do you the Gardener's World quilt, but it's all the colours that were in there. So we've got some earthies, we've got some, let me just put these over there and get to a different kind of palette. So we've got kind of neutrals, then we get to the kind of the colours that were in there. So the fire, the red, gorgeous candy pink, beautiful pink herringbone, and then we go through a few shades of this kind of gorgeous pink. It's worth holding up to the camera. Look at those. They're just divine, those colours there. And then obviously you can't go into a garden without having some greens. So you've got 4 greens here as well. So that is the Gardener's World. Put them all together like that. And then we have the Winter's Tale. Now we did put my note under there and then I don't forget which is which. We did the block of the month quilt called Winter's Tale, and this is all the tweeds. It wasn't planned, but it just worked out that there was 20 tweeds in there, 20 wools. So all the colours that were in that quilt. This will not get you the quilt, but if you like it, you've done it. Let's say you want to do some coordinating cushions, or you want to, take some of the animals. I don't know, I'm not going to put my name on exactly what you'll get. That's up to your own creativity. But that's the Winter's Tale there. And then we did, earlier this autumn, we did the Jolly Wally snowmen. So here we've got lots of Jolly Wally colours for decorating your snowmen. And then we've got some neutrals in there to kind of make things show up, all your wonderful brights. So that one's really nice. And this is just what's left in the box. There's not masses of these. And then the Amaranthus. Now I know because I did my maiden voyage on Sewing Street this week, which was wonderful, and thank you all for your support. And I know some of these, I know they sold out on Sewing Street, but I'd kept a few back for me. So let me come back face on. So I'd kept a few back for me, and this is the ones that were kept back, but I know people have also been in them, so I'm not sure how many are left. So if you want the charismas, it's a great way. If you've never used wool and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do, I'm stuck, have a go with a charisma, because it's just a really safe way to start. And also, not right now, obs, because you're watching Secret Sewing Club, but after we've finished at 5 o'clock, if you go on my Facebook page, we do a Friday night live. And this week, people asked if I would talk about how we piece our tweed seams. Now, I'm not putting myself out there as the most professional, because our rule book went out the window. We do what works for us. But if you want to see what we do, have a look at our live on Friday, as in this week Friday, and you'll see how we work our wool seams. So if you're nervous at all. So how are we doing for time, Hayley? Yep, that's fine. Yeah, I'll save my demo for the next bit then. Okay. I don't want to be greedy and you know, gotta give everybody a chance.
Do you know, I'm always so conscious of sorting everybody else's microphones out. I forget to turn my own back on. So I've got loads of messages from people talking about various Christmas presents and things that they've had, good and bad. So I don't know if I can go back far enough now. Right, let me have a look. Oh, I can't get back far enough on Facebook. But there is one on YouTube here saying she got a puppy on the 23rd of December. She says, no puppies for life, not just for Christmas, but they had 3 dogs anyway. Husband hasn't had to buy anything since because it was a border terrier and she'd wanted one for 35 years. I mean, that's also we've had Sarah from White Gecko on. I'm just checking that she's got her pyjamas ready for next week because we're all doing it in pyjamas next week apparently, and she's bought new ones specially, which I think is lovely. I did have some questions. Oh, I can't get far enough back now. Yes, there were some funny things coming through on the Facebook chat, so you'll have to go back and have a look through, see if I can get. I don't think it's going to let me know. It's kind of stopping me, so many. But yes, there was lots of comments about somebody getting a toaster for Christmas and things like that. So yeah, lots of fun things. So what is there a party piece then? Is there I'm assuming Anthea will have one. Assuming Anthea will have one, but is there a party piece? Is there a something or a tradition or something that has now become a tradition that you do every year? I'll start with. Katrina looks confused. I'll not start there. I'll start with Maria.
I don't do party.
Well, I haven't got a party piece as such, but my partner has. He likes to do fire breathing.
Wow.
And I can't look because I just think, oh my God, he's going to set fire to himself. But he's professional. He's done it professionally as an experience. And he does it for people's weddings, birthdays. Yeah. There's some pictures of him on his Facebook thing. Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. He can put a link up. We'll all go and have a look. So who bought him that as a present then?
Well, I mean, he did it about 10 years ago. I think he just went on all these experiences. And I mean, I've only known him 10 years, so I don't know. I think he did it for himself. But yeah, and I think when he told me, I just thought, no. And then I saw these pictures of him doing it for the National Trust. So he did it for National Trust campfires. And he's done it for birthdays, weddings. So yeah, so that's a good party piece. But otherwise than that, we always have certain drinks we like, because I'm half Italian. So there's a lot of the sweet wines, like liqueurs.
Like dessert wine and things.
Yeah, I always make sure I have those in. Try out different ones every year. So, yeah.
Anthea, then, what's your party
I don't
tradition?
have a party piece. I'm way too sensible to do anything like that. You've got a party piece, Sarah, haven't you? 10:30.
I thought it was like, which Sarah is she talking to? She's talking to the Sarah that's behind her camera.
I'm taking Sarah. That's the best I can think of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, we get to about 10:30 and where's Sarah? Oh, yeah.
Just past your bedtime.
To nothing, just like that.
Katrina, okay, if you haven't got a party piece, I'm assuming Ted has.
Well, Ted always has a party piece, and he can absolutely. He used to be in a band, and he used to always quite a few of the venues that he went to. He always used to sing a song to me, and that was really quite special. So, but I couldn't do a party piece at all.
just
quite happy to
let him do it. Right. Well, we'll go back and I'll see if I can get those messages about the Christmas present, because there was quite a few funny ones in there. But Maria, if you're ready,
I am ready. Yeah.
Then I shall hand everything over to you. And I know you've got some. Is it Goldwork for us?
I have. Yeah, I've got some special Goldwork new releases.
It's all yours.
Really, really nice and easy for beginners. Very small projects. Yeah. So basically, these were my first kits I ever brought out in 2020, and I ended up revising them because there was every time I brought them out, they all sold out. So today on the Secret Sewing Club is 25% off as well on the website with other kits as well. But these are really good for beginners. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate how to do what the threads are. I'm going to talk to you about, if you've never done this before, it's a good way to start to look at the threads. That's the first thing, which is what I'm going to demonstrate. And then I'll go back on some more demos. So I'm just going to go and share my camera.
You've gone a little quiet there, Maria. You might have to speak up just a little bit for me because I've maxed you out on what I can do from this end.
So there you go. That's my demo area. Can you see that, everybody? Right. So basically, this is the Goldwork butterfly, and this is what you're going to get in the kit. I might actually put the light on, it's getting a bit darker. So in your packet, you've got all your threads, the parson thread and the fine sewing thread. There's also the actual metal threads, which is one thing, which is called pearl cord. You've got 2 needles, a tapestry needle and a sewing needle, loads and loads of little beads and embellishments. You've also got the lovely fabrics that will actually work with bouquet. So what you're going to do is you've got your template on your instructions. It's also pre-printed on your fabric. And all you're doing is you're going to trace out the top wing and the bottom wing in the relevant fabrics. Now if you wanted the bottom, you could have the gold at the top and the lace at the bottom. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you some of the threads. So when you're first to Goldwork,
Maria, your sound has gone. Maria, your sound's gone very quiet.
These are great to cut your metal threads as well, but keep a pair of normal threads and also for
Maria, your sound's gone very quiet, so you might have to just speak up a little bit for me.
Okay. There you go.
Oh. No, you've turned your speakers up. Now you've got an echo.
No, I'm okay now. Is it all right? Yeah. So basically, what I'm going to do is...
You're going to have to just shout a bit.
Yeah. I'm going to actually use... It's actually the softer thread. It's a bit like a sewing thread. But it's actually wound. So you've got like... First thing to do is we're going to start off all around the bottom part with this parson thread. And I've got the tapestry needle, which I can't go through. Just in case you have it. Onion. That's now secure. Tapestry thread is actually tapestry come out. You don't need textile. When you go to finish it off, you need the tapestry. So the next thing we're going to do is we've just got a normal needle, which is a sharp's needle, and a gold thread.
Maria, your sound keeps cutting in and out quite badly. So you're going to need to really speak up for me.
Okay, I will do. Sorry. Right, so what we're going to do is now we're just threading on the needle on the thin gold thread, which is actually in your kit, and you then bring up that needle where the other thread was, and that'll be your first. You hold it to where you want to be on the edge, and then just go back through down through. So you're going through, up, and then back over. So couching is basically going over the thread. So it's as simple as that, really. So you're just going to do every 2 to 3 millimeters would be perfect. And if you want to, you can go back on it, but you don't need to do that at this stage. You can just get it to the stage where you're holding in the actual thread on the edge of the lace. So already you can see it's actually started to take shape. And you continue this until you get right to the end. And that's how you outline the butterfly. You're just outlining the butterfly with the passing thread.
Right, Maria, while I'm trying to sort out your sound,
Okay.
would you be able to try with your headphones in for me? Perfect. Okay, I'll take people through to your website and I'll have a quick look on there for you so I can show everybody where your kits are. So while Maria just goes and finds her headphones, if you have a look or use the QR code or use the web address oldmaidnew.com, this is where it will take you to. And as you can see, there are 10 products on there which have got an exclusive 25% discount for the Secret Sewing Club. So you can see them there. There's some that are full kits, and there are some that have got kind of braids and different threads and other bits and pieces. But all of these are available with an exclusive discount of 25% through the Secret Sewing Club. So let me just go and check with Maria. Are we good? That's a little bit better. Yes, it's definitely a little bit clearer. So I'll switch it back across to you there. No, it's gone again. I'm so sorry, Maria. I'm having real problems with your audio. It's just not coming through very clearly at all. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll come back to everybody together, and I will see if Katrina is ready to do her demonstration, and we'll spend a little bit of time trying to resolve your audio, because I'd rather you had the ability to do everything. As there we go, we're all back together. Yeah, I don't know what's going on because it seems to be fine when you're in the group, but then as soon as we
I will try and figure out the phone.
Yeah, well, we'll try and figure that out, and if Katrina is ready, we will pass it over to her, and then you and I can spend a bit of time trying to sort it out. There you go.
Okay, so this is the next demo. Looking at the card kits that we do,
Maria,
and this is quite a big area that people really enjoy to do the projects. I'm just going to show you the cards.
Maria, can you hear me?
This is the designs are done on one piece of fabric, and then you stitch each one, and then you cut them up and put them in your cards. Now the cards are in the kit. Everything is in the kit. So the first one is tulips. And I've forgotten the name of the flower, but anyway, and there's blue. So I've got here sort of bluebells and wild garlic. So each design will be, I only actually use 4 or 5 stitches. So if you're looking at the designs, a couple of French knots, a few straight stitches, and maybe a little bit of textured wool, which I'm going to show you how to use. And then again, just I mean, obviously the title of this is Spring. You look at, I think, looking forward to all the colours that spring brings. This is a really, really nice design to do if you've got a project before spring, like this holiday. So again, tulips, I just love those. And again, very, very easy stitches to do. And then looking at primroses, a couple of spider's webs, that's a fabulous stitch, and a few French knots and beads in between, just to create the idea of looking into the flowers there. And again, I love snowdrops. So snowdrops and forget-me-nots, really, really nice to do, and nice to have individual projects on the 6 designs. So you've got, you know, they don't take long to do. So here's my design here. So I've got 6 designs on the fabric, and I'm going to show you how to do a little bit of the organza. Again, this time I've got on the 6 design. I'm using my 5-inch hoop here. That keeps your work taut, and you can move it round the design, and it's a spring hoop, so really just release that into the plastic ring, and it'll be really, really secure. And obviously you can move it round for the one that you're going to do. So I'm just going to have a go at this little one here. Again, I've got my organza, so this time there is every kit will have the print on the fabric, just a few lines just to get you started. And then you've got little bits of organza. So for doing this time you hold it up on the bias, and then you're going to cut sort of triangular shapes, and then you're just going to fray those. You know, I always say be a little bit mean to it. You've really got to pull the fabric apart. It's just very nice to just create the colours. It's made of 2 different colours on this fabric, so you'll get some really nice shadows. And then you're going to place the organza over the print. You'll still be able to see the design underneath, and then you can add that. And this stays on your design, and it's the stitching that holds it in place. So I'm just going to take a couple of stitches. So again, you know, when you get your kit, they will all be on a card. They'll all be organized so that you can use those, and the numbers 1 to 17. So you've got a lot of colors there to use for the design. Mainly on the cards, this particular card, we've got some wools and metallic threads, and we've got bead thread, and we've also got the stranded cottons. But in your instructions, they're step by step. They've got stitch diagrams. They tell you exactly the easiest way to do the project, and they really just enjoy the process of the stitching. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of a straight stitch. So really the straight stitches are the easiest, and I'm just going to say, so that you know what size stitch to work, you're just going to bring the thread from the back of the fabric, and then the stitch, you're going to go over the printed line, and then you're just going to add additional stitches afterwards. So you just take the thread, and that gets you to know how big the stitch needs to be. And the instructions will take you through each card kit, and then you can either make the cards and give those away, or you could put them in a picture frame. You don't actually have to use them as cards, but they're in the kit if that's what you'd like to do with your project. So as you start to stitch, once you, in the instruction, it might say, you know, add more stitches in between, so that you're going to create a plant, you're going to create the grasses, and it's never wrong. And that's the beauty of this kind of stitching. It's never wrong. You can add more French knots, more beads, or if there's a thread that you think just don't like that one, you can add threads of your own into your designs. And I think you'll probably find that I put too many threads in. Ted's always saying that when I'm doing a kit, put too much in, too many beads, too many threads. But I know what I'm like when I'm starting to stitch and design. I use lots of thread, and you know, you just change your mind halfway through and wanting to develop a different part of the design. So we always give too much thread, but that's the beauty of this kind of stitching. Okay, so as you get going on your design, this particular one is bluebells. So you're just going to take the thread, and it'll be a variegated thread, and then you're just going to go over the print, and I'm just going to create a couple of couple of bluebells there, and you're just going to go over the printed line with those threads. And really, it's very, very easy to cover the print. Now, the print is permanent on the fabric, so that, you know, you just need to cover that completely with the thread. And the organza is just used as a little bit of texture there. And really, if you're stitching, I think when you first start, you think, oh, my stitching won't be good enough. It's definitely easy. It's definitely easy to do, and it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. And you're just going to go over the print, and you're just going to completely cover the printed line until you've got bluebells. And actually, you can see that effect. It just appears quite quickly. And I think that's the beauty of variegated threads. The magic just happens as you start to stitch. And I'll just take those little bits of organza away. And then to fasten off.
A quick apology, Katrina. We were trying to fix Maria's microphone, and I didn't have mine turned off right at the beginning of your demo. It is all sorted now, and Maria's sorted as well. So we are ready when you are. Obviously, we're going to come back to you again for a third time because you've had to sneak a little extra one in there. But it's all good.
It's all good. It's all good. So I'm just going to do another little bit on here. So one of the things that I do like to do is I like to add a little bit of sparkle. So in your kit, you'll find that there is a mixture of sequins and beads. Some of these will be bugle beads. That's like a tube of glass. There'll be other ones that are fairly large sizes, sort of a size 6 bead. And then you'll find that there's lots of sparkle in there. So you can add as much or as little as you wish. Now in your kit, to apply these to the fabric, you'll find that you've got a milliner's 10 needle inside the kit and a thread that's not going to stretch. So and that's quite important, that when you are adding the beads, that they're not going to fall. You know, if it's obviously if you're putting your stitching on clothing, or you want to put one of these on a bag, then, you know, using the correct thread is quite important. So to start with, it's easy. You're just going to pick up a little tiny bead onto the milliner's 10 needle. So that means it's got a sharp point, and the eye of the needle is a little bit bigger than a bead needle. So I find that a lot easier to thread. And then you're just going to take the thread, the needle all the way through, and that's just enough to secure that on the fabric. And you're going to go right the way through and just keep picking up a bead. So in the instructions, it would sort of say, you know, an area to apply the beads, or it might say apply the beads over a printed dot. But really, you're just going to create and have the fun of using all the different textures in the different textures in the beads, really. And then just add a little bit of sparkle and bring that to life. You know, when it's springtime and you've got the light changing, and you've got all those beautiful colours of bluebells, a little bit of sunshine to look forward to. So then once you've got other little bits, you can add texture with sequins. And then obviously in this kind of design, you're just going to secure the petals with a little bit of you're going to secure those just with the thread going through the hole in the sequin and then around. So you can just add as many as you wish. And then obviously to fasten off, you just really a couple of stitches on the back. And for my kind of, what I think about the stitching is, I don't care what the back looks like. You know, if you want to use knots or you want to add texture, I think that's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, it's the design on the front that you're going to be concentrating on. So don't worry if it's not perfect. Don't worry about that. And so as you go through your design, you can see that you're going to add a little bit more straight stitches. And then, of course, we have to have a few French knots in the design. So I'm just going to show you a couple of those. And I'm just going to use a wool for this one, and I'm just going to do a knot there with the thread, and then add texture. You're just going to take that through. So again, it's the same process, and that's why the spring hoop's really good, is you've got somewhere to rest the fabric as you're holding the thread in one hand and the needle in the other hand. So you're going to go around once, twice, and as you take the point of the needle down, you're just going to almost go into the same place, but not exactly. If you go in the same place, it disappears through to the back. So as you push the needle in, the point of the needle, just gently tighten the thread, and that's going to give that nice little rose shape to the stitch. And you're going to take that through, and it's obviously you can use this stitch once you know the stitch. You can use it for filling an area in. You can use it as a decorative flower, but in the wool, it can be used as to create a background. And you're just going to work a few of those. And there are lots of variations of this stitch that I use. So another stitch that is really quite good is a long-legged French knot. So a long-legged French knot, that's really easy to do as well. And
whatever you've just done, that's much better.
Just to give a little bit of texture. So to do this one, you're going to repeat the same process.
Whatever you've just done, Maria, it's much better.
You're going to take the needle
yes.
higher. And so it's almost like a stem.
Perfect.
With a little knot on the end.
There's your fire breather in the background.
French knot. You can build up an area of texture. So same process, except instead of going into the same hole, you take the needle much higher, and you've got a really nice stitch. It's great for great as if they were in grasses. A lot of the designs that I do are meadows and floral, and that's a perfect stitch for that. Yeah. I think it's a long French knot. Yeah, and then there's another one where you can really just make it I call it a loopy French knot. But what you go around for once, only twice, and then just keep the thread very loose around the needle, and then again you're going to make loops, and so it looks like it's not messy. It's not gone wrong. It's just giving you a little.
It's just giving you, it's just giving you more texture.
Yeah,
and there's
giving you more texture.
If you're doing like loads of them in, and you want quite an even texture on them as well, a colonial knot's quite nice.
Yeah.
Because you can motor through them.
You can really do that. And I think once you've mastered the stitch, it's just good to experiment, and that's I think the beauty of the cards. You can add. You've got a whole range of colours there. You can add more to the design as you go through the design. And sometimes it's hard knowing when to stop to stitching, when you think you've done enough, because what happens as you start to stitch, you just can't stop stitching and creating. And I think that's the beauty of the card kits, is that you've got 6 designs there. And I think if you look on our website, we've got at least, I don't know, 20 different card kits, 27 Ted's, 27 card kits, all themed on different, whether it's the water's edge or it's Christmas cards. There's something there for everybody. And I know that a lot of our customers like to do those and like short projects. Sometimes it's a bit daunting if you've got a very large project to do. This is great. You've got individual designs, and that really most of them are just 5 stitches where you can get a design with 5. You don't need a book of 100 stitches or anything. You've just got simple designs, simple stitching, but it's the colours that do the work, I think.
Perfect. Right, I have everybody back together, and we think we have fixed Maria's audio as well. So I will very briefly jump us all back together, and then Maria, are you ready to give it a second shot with hopefully some more successful audio.
Let's try and get it. Yeah, let's try.
We'll switch straight into you then, because I know we kind of got halfway through your demo, and then unfortunately you're going to have to do it all again. So we'll see you in a minute. Off you go.
Okay. Can you hear me this time?
Yes, and we can see your
Right, can you hear me this
overhead
time?
one. Yes, we can.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, I've actually managed to go round with parson thread, and I'm just going to finish this little bit off just to show you what it's like. If you're doing corners, it's always best to bring the needle up through to the edge where the lace is, and then pull gently the parson thread near, then push it back through. That way you can follow the line better, and it actually looks a bit more professional. And the nice thing about the parson thread as well is when you come to cutting out the butterfly, it gives you that edge, so it's easier to fold it, and then you're going to put another stitch over that. So that's what I'm saying about not putting too many stitches in at this point.
Right. You may need to just backstep a little bit for me there, just
Okay.
because we obviously didn't hear much of that first bit at all.
Okay,
So you
Right.
mentioned you're stitching onto lace,
that's right.
but it looks
Yes.
like quite a solid white fabric you've got there.
Oh, right, okay. So in the kit, we have got some beautiful old vintage lace that's actually in the kit, which looks like this. And then what you're doing is actually laying that over with some bonder web, cutting out your template, and then ironing it on in place.
Right.
So
now I'm with
so
you.
Yeah.
It's
So
just
that's-
that first bit. The sound was so kind of rocky
Oh,
that we didn't get unfortunately the first bit of that. So yeah, unfortunately you need to start from the beginning.
that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, so that's basically how we are actually doing the first stage after you've appliqued on your gold fabric and also the lace.
Right. So that
What I'm gonna
top
do is-
half is gold fabric, the bottom half is lace, and now you're adding the threads to it.
That's right. So we're just adding the
Perfect.
gold thread around, yeah, which gives it a nice little frame. And when you do cut it out, you've got that edge, and then you're going to actually re-sew that, obviously, with the backing. So it'll be well secure. The next thread that we use is the pearl thread. It's like a metal wire, and it's literally a bit wobbly. It is a coil, it's a coil spring, and you can actually pull it apart if you wanted to. But this stage, we're not going to do that. We're going to use the pearl to actually fill in, and like a bead. So you're literally going to stitch this over where the body is. So all we're doing is we just want tiny, tiny amounts, little bit of beads. And you can actually measure it with a ruler if you want to, but I tend to just do it freehand, which is fine. And you're going to take your needle and cotton again, the same needle and cotton as you used before, and you're just going to bring that up on one side of the body. You're then going to bead on bead it onto your needle, pull it through, and then you're going to go over the other side and lay that across. And that's how you're going to fill that bit of the body. It looks more complicated than it is, but I promise you it's not. So then you just come up again on that side and you repeat the process until you've filled that section. So that's the two basic threads that are in this kit,
And how
which is
long
your
roughly would
actual
it take?
parson thread and the pearl.
Um,
Once you've learned that, you're already on the start of your journey on Goldwork.
And how long roughly would it take to complete one of the butterfly kits?
Well, if you did it all day, it would take you just a day to do. But if you're just doing it over a couple of hours a night, you'd get it done in 3 nights.
And the one that you're looking at there is the Golden Butterfly Mini Kit.
That's right, yes. And there's also the dragonfly.
Right, so the ones that I can see, I'm just going to quickly switch on to your website so I can show people the pictures on there. Okay, so it's these two that are here. Now, they look very much kind of 3D. So
Yes, they are. They're brooches.
okay, so
basically what I've done is I'll go back to stop sharing. Let's go back. So what we're doing is we've got little brooches.
you need to lift it up a bit.
Little
That's
brooches
it.
like that.
And across a bit towards your face. There, perfect. Now we can see.
So there you go. That's the dragonfly, and the butterfly is the same. So they are 3D, or you can keep them on the hoop flat if you wanted to. You don't have to have them as a brooch.
And how did you get into all of this?
Well, I was doing my conservation degree in 2020, and I had to learn how to do metal thread embroidery because I was mending and repairing a textile piece that was quite old, and I just loved it. I thought I'm going to find out a bit more about this. And then lockdown came and it gave me the opportunity to actually become a Goldwork embroiderist. So I ended up actually making kits with my design background, and I've never looked back.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Let me just I can hear talking about right. It's just I'm just catching up with some of the messages on YouTube, which is where we were fixing your sound. So what are the other kits? Because obviously you had a look there at your little kind of brooch ones. Got a message from Sarah that says Maria's kits are beautiful to work with.
Oh, lovely. That's brilliant. I do get good feedback. I've been on Sewing Street for 3 years, and all my kits have started to become a bit more in depth in the instructions. I've revised everything, and I never get anybody saying, I can't do it, I don't understand it, which is brilliant.
Perfect. And what other bits and pieces have you got on the website today? Because I did have a look and show everybody your website just before, and on there you had a real mixture. So you had some which was just kind of accessories and threads and things, the brooches which we've had a very quick look at there. So what are the other things that you've got on today?
The other demonstration I'm going to do is the Aspen tree, which is a lovely tree because that's a bit embroidery. It's using a bit of textile media, but it's also using the metal threads. So I could demo that maybe later. But that's the summer aspen tree.
No problem.
And there's also a selection of threads. So if you basically don't want to buy a kit or you can't buy a kit, then you can just buy some threads and then experiment, with other kits.
Do you want to show us the threads then?
Yeah, the thread packs are basically, they're the pearls. I'm just going to... So we've got the festive mix, which is the red, green and gold. And they're basically the pearl wires that we have, which are really beautiful and sparkly. You can cut those up or you can use them as they are and just literally edge things.
So are they the ones that you would kind of couch in place with just the odd little stitch to hold them as a border?
That's right. Yeah, so it's basically like beads, chipping them in like beads. And then you can decorate them. Yeah.
And if you are turning things, because obviously you edged the butterfly with those just before. So if you're then going to cut that out and make it into a brooch, how do you go about doing that without all of your threads falling off?
And basically what you do is you actually will use Gutterman. I use Gutterman or a nice strong thread. I double thread it. So just in case anything breaks. Because using metal threads, sometimes threads can break. So I double thread it and basically just use it as a bead or couch over it. So it makes sure that it gets pulled apart slightly. The metal thread gets pulled to the right. And then you can actually couch over that.
but it basically never comes off. It always seems to stay.
Oh no, the question that I've got is, when you obviously you've couched around the edge of it and you've created that beautiful border, how do you then cut that out and turn it into a brooch? Because I mean,
Oh right, yeah.
if
What
you
you
cut-
do is you make.
Sorry, carry on.
What you do is on the instructions in the kit, I always do about 1/4 of a metre around the edge, and then I will fold in that fabric under and tack stitch
Do you
it.
possibly mean 1/4 of an inch? Because 1/4 of a metre's 25
Yeah, 1/4 of an inch.
centimetres. That'd be quite a big bit.
1/4 of an inch.
Right, so you're cutting it out and then you're folding that fabric.
That's right. And then you
Back on
can
it.
tack it. Yeah. Oh, excuse. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So basically, you're tack stitching the edge, so it gives it a good edge, a good strong edge, and then you can then back it with some felt, which is what's in the kit.
Perfect.
And then put your brooch.
So is absolutely everything in those kits to kind of complete them? So the
Yeah.
brooch backs, the felt, the everything.
Yeah. I also have on my website an education page, so you can watch like how to couch, how to cut pearl, how
Right.
to edge
Let
things.
me just go and
as
put that
well.
up so
Yeah.
people can have a little bit of look. So I'm assuming there's instructions within the kit that they're getting anyway, but then
yeah, very
on
in
top
depth.
of that, right, I've got them here. Just bear with me.
And get the instructions.
Switch you back to the web. There you go. So there's a load of videos there as well, explaining how to do all sorts of other bits and pieces. Now, we didn't know you had these on, but I can just see that you've got the wooden blocks there. Well, we didn't know you had these on there before we put them up, but what we have put on our website for our secret sewing club, let me just go and switch it to us. There you go, and then you go onto the Craft Yourself Silly page, and Secret Sewing Club is just here, and then it's 22nd of December. We've actually put all of our blocks up. So yeah, well there you go. There's a world of more opportunities there now, because we genuinely didn't realise that is how you initially kind of started out working, and that's what we'd put on as and all our blocks have got 25% off today as well, so they'll complement your
brilliant.
kits quite nicely.
Yeah, because I mean, if you buy blocks, the people that are watching, if you buy blocks, you could print a beautiful piece, and then you could use my threads to embroider into them, which is the Asian embroidery, which is lovely.
Yeah, that's the technique that they use. I've got another message from Jan here. Wonderful to see you, Maria. Your work is truly beautiful. It's getting lots of lovely messages today.
I know.
Right, shall we head back and find the other guys? I've kind of lost track of where we're supposed to be now. Oh, hang on. Anthea's holding up messages, but I've muted her. We are not getting any sound. Yeah, that's because I've turned you. That's because I found the buttons to turn you off, guys. You should be getting sound now. Yes, just as I was sorting out people's microphones and things, I had what's called deafened you guys, so you couldn't hear me talking while I was talking to her, and both of them instantly kind of wrote messages and I put them into the cameras. But it's all good. Everybody's back together. Everything is fine. We are all good. I did find the Christmas messages, because we did have quite a few about Christmas presents that people had got from partners, children, whatever. One year my husband bought me a toolkit so that when he is doing something and he needed a tool, I would know where to find it. That's from Liz. Hubby just said today, you can get a toaster for Christmas. And don't know what that one's about. Apparently, it's as bad as my funny son buying me a bag of flour on Mother's Day. 1 year, my aunt bought me the Rosemary Connolly Flat Stomach Plan book. At the time, she was a size 6. It's a bit rude, isn't it? But yeah, there's loads of people's Christmas presents all just kind of piling in now. And hopefully we've sorted out all of the sound issues as well. Because I think it was just a faulty set of headphones, wasn't it?
Oh, right.
It was in the end. They were cracking, the older pair. So hubby came in with
Lovely
these-
green set. Matches beautifully with my giant orange cable.
and my red trees.
So, Anthea, we went a bit out of sync there. And I believe you're next. Do you have a demo for us this time? Oh, hang on. You've got yourself muted, I think. I've got no sound for Anthea. Oh no, not more issues. Let me have a look. It's not muted on my end. So it's muted on the other end. Hang on, we've got to help her. Do you want to try it again? It's very quiet. Right, we might be coming back to one of you guys. Oh no, she's upside down. Are you all right, Anthea? 2 minutes. Okay. Oh, we're going to do it as charades. Even better. Oh my gosh. It started so well today though, didn't it, guys? We were all there. We were like, oh, we've done quite well today. We're all on time. We're all really early when everybody logged in. Everything was just, no, we still can't hear you, Anthea. I don't know what you've done or undone. But we can't hear you, love. She's just giving it, but we can't hear you. Right. In which case, then, has either of you two got? Oh, actually, should we go back to you, Maria? Because you said you did have another demonstration of another kit.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Well, we'll go and see that while I hopefully sort out Anthea.
I'm just going to change camera.
Right, you're away. It's over to you, Maria.
There you go. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off quickly, which is quite good. And we're going to talk about trees. Now this kit, Hayley may recognise the printing, was actually
Might do.
a new kit this year. And I did a set of 4 because they were, well, one of them sold out completely, which was really good. So now I've got that in the hoop. There you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use the pearl thread again, the green threads that were actually on the kit. In the kit, you get all the textile media to stitch on. And then also you can actually fuzzy thread some of the pearl wire. So again, you can actually do like freestyle. It doesn't matter where you put anything. If you can put as much as you want into the kit, into the sewing, or you can put as little as you want just to keep, to actually see all the lovely painted, because I originally painted these designs. Right, so we've got normal cotton and thread. And we're going to get, right, I'm going to use the green pearl. And we're going to do the chipping again, like what I demoed before. Get your scissors. And literally going to cut about 10 millimeters lengths. A bit like bugle beads, because I was trying to think of what beads they were. Those nice long thin ones that you get with a hollow, because the actual wire has got a hollow in the middle. It enables you to actually. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make loops, like little loops, to give it a bit of texture. And all you're doing is you're putting it up going back through the same hole, and then just let that grab. And you can hear a little click when it's done that. You go back through, and that's secure now. So you can actually keep this actually standing up to give it a bit of texture, or you can actually put another tack in there to keep it flat. So we're doing the same again. In the kit, you're getting two colours. You're getting a nice light green, and there is a gold as well. So let's go back onto another leaf. So we'll go on, say that one there. So I'm just going to bead these on. These are long enough to hold in your hands, these ones. Sometimes a good beading tray, I do recommend a good beading tray, because that does hold all your bits together, especially if you were working on your lap. That's a nice one. That's the second one.
About how many of these bits do you need to put on? And do you recommend like snipping a load first and then sewing them, or just doing a few at a time?
So this is a nice way of actually getting some texture in, as well as normal embroidery, because we were doing just backstitch on some of the branches. You could do French knots if you want to. So again, if you're an embroiderist but you've never used metal threads, it's another way of actually working.
So how many bits would you recommend putting on a branch, and would you recommend cutting them all first or just doing a few as you go?
I would do a few as you go, because you may want to use the wire for something else. They come in long lengths. In the kit, they come in about 48 inches long. So you may want to cut, say, 12 inches and then leave the rest on the reel, because you may want to do some fuzzy fedding, which is what I'm going to tell you. If there's anything damaged or anything comes off, like sort of, oh, I can use that for later, never throw away any of the threads. So yeah, this one here, I'm going to lay this one flat so you can actually loop it, and that's secure, that's down flat. You can put some beads in there as well. Again, in the kit there is actually some gold beads as well. So fuzzy fedding, as you can see, the lengths are quite long. What we do is we're going to cut about, say, 2 inches. And I'm going to do something that you're not supposed to do really, but because it's like, if it's damaged threads, you can pull them apart, wind it around your fingers, and start to manipulate it into a shape. So you can actually wind it, bend them. Again, it's another texture. Just wind all the little bits that are not all hanging over. So if you wanted to, you can actually start to put in, say, some mossy bits. So again, using the same needle and cotton, you can start to put in texture at the bottom of the tree. There is a nice full colour instruction sheet with the kits, and you can either copy it identical or put your own stamp on it, really. In the kit, there is actually a green thread and a yellow thread. So if you didn't want to see your stitches, you can just use the colour that actually goes with the relevant colours of the pearl. And there's brown as well. So it's as simple as that, really. It's just literally building up and looking at all the lovely areas that you can actually start to stitch into.
And what threads would you recommend working with this, if it wasn't just the Goldwork threads that you were going to add, if somebody was going to go off-piste?
Yeah, well, you could use all embroidery threads. You could use wool, felt. You could use beautiful silks, like silk threads.
Excellent. I'm just waiting for Anthea.
That's okay.
I don't know. They're frantically unplugging and plugging things back in, I think, at the minute to try and they thought they'd be fancy and they plugged an extra thing in and now it's knocked everything else off.
Oh, no.
So, Katrina, we might be coming back to you sooner than you thought. No, it's one of those things. We're all learning. We're all getting better at it.
Yeah,
but we're not
I think
perfect
we've
yet.
done well. We've done well today.
We're not perfect yet, but we are getting there. I will see if Anthea is back, but I can't hear her. So I'm guessing that means that we won't be able to hear it. So
I was going to say
just try and talk for me. No.
Hayley, what I was going to say was as well on my website for today only, I can actually send out a stitch guide free with all the orders.
Oh, that would be amazing. Let me just go and find your website again. We'll pop that back up. Let me just.
And I can actually post that.
Perfect. So any of the orders that go out today, and I'm assuming you're posting tomorrow morning? Yes. Okay. So and that would be, it doesn't just have to be the things, or is it with anything that's ordered from the Secret Sewing Club? Perfect. So any of those 10 items that you can see there that are within the kind of the Secret Sewing Club section, which already give you 25% off, Maria is going to print out a stitch guide and add that into your parcel. So you're getting an absolute bargain today. Let me just see if I can get everybody back together. It might just be you, me and Katrina and a silent Anthea. Oh, is she back? Anthea? No, Anthea. No, she's not frozen. She's just I don't know what she's doing. She's unplugging and plugging things in when she maybe shouldn't be unplugging and plugging things in. So we're just going to do you by charades. So go on then. Is it you know sign language? Go on then. We'll just charades. So think of one, Anthea, and we'll guess it. No, I think we should. You've put us in this situation, so it's. I don't know what this is. Has anybody got any idea what she's doing?
No.
I think she's having a meltdown.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, she's giving up. She's going to give up.
If you need to log out and log back in again, that's fine. I can sort that. But Katrina, can you save the day, please? In the meantime,
well, I've got some embroidery here that we can have a look at.
Well, actually, do you want to go through all of the kits that you've got on for today? Because I know we've seen like little bits and pieces of them.
Just put
but
one
if you
on the
can,
floor, I'll just pick it up.
Okay, I shall wait till you come back then.
Okay, so we've got Meadow jewels. This is the first one we looked at. So it's worked on tweed, and it's 3 or 4 different stitches in this design. It's a lovely design, and I've stretched, once you've completed your design, I've used a canvas just to frame the piece of work. So that was the first one.
And that one, and these are all available on your website.
All available. And
can you possibly do me a favour and give the prices out while you go? Because obviously we don't have like graphics the same way as the TV shopping does. But if you can give me prices as you go, that would massively help. Or if you want me to do it, I have the list.
Okay, Meadow Jewels is $34.95, and that's the kit and everything that you need to complete that kit. So needles, beads, instructions, and then obviously if you look at our YouTube page, you can see details of stitches on there. So that was the first one. So the next one that we haven't looked at yet, and this is called Tulips and Daffodils. So Tulips and Daffodils is in the 7-inch display hoop. So it's really I mean, all the things that I think are spring. You know, we've got pansies and tulips and primroses and daffodils, all different kinds. It's worked on tweed, and it's easy, but it's very easy to do. And I've framed these in our 7-inch display hoops so that you can instantly hang that piece up. And I'll just check with Ted. It's
25.75.
It's 25.75, and then carnations and loose strife here. So this is in the same range. So the fun one with this one, you're stitching with the organza in strips of fabric. We've made some fabric flowers here for the carnations, and we've got a lot of textured wools just to create a little bit of the design. And obviously you've got as many bees as you want there. You can add a whole host of bees. So once you've stitched your design, if you wanted to change it into a rectangular design, that would be easy too. You get so many threads in the kits that you know, there's plenty to do that. If you didn't want to display it on a 7-inch hoop, you can change it to a canvas style. And that's 25.75. So the next design, this is Garden Gate. This is worked on a 5-inch hoop. So this is one of our designs that's in on a cotton background, and this time the organza is used to create a little bit of the garden and the sky. So you get everything in that design, beads as well, little bits of fabric to create textured flowers and a few sequins there in the distance. And that one is, and I'm just going to ask that, 18.95 for that size. So the hoops are separate for those. And then
Ted's doing a lovely job, by the way.
I know.
I would normally do it for you, but I'm frantically trying to get Anthea back because she's vanished altogether now.
All right. This one's called Willowherb Bank. So this is the same range. So again, the organza is used just to create part of the design. And this time you're not stitching over the complete, you know, you're not covering the organza. You've got little bits of straight stitch, a few French knots, a little bit of folded flowers in organza there, and then some beads to create the cow parsley there. So that's a really nice design, easy and quick to do. And then the cards, I think I've buried the cards somewhere. The cards are buried. They're on the floor down there.
Just while you're looking for that, there's a couple of people asking how to find people's websites. Obviously there's the little QR code right up in that top right hand corner. If you use your phone, you can scan that and it will take you directly to somebody's website. Also, if you look in the descriptions for the various you know, either the Facebook Live description or the YouTube description, all the websites are in there as well. But yes, I will give yours out again. It is rowandean.com.
Okay, and then we've also got the spring cards. So this is the designs that are worked individually, but they're on one piece of fabric. So you can cut those off afterwards. So we've got tulips, and we have daffodils, and we have the one that we demonstrated with the bluebells and wild garlic there. And then we've got a little design with tulips again. So again, that design is
that's 27.95.
27.95. So that for that design, you get all the ingredients for the kit. You get the cards and envelopes, the beads, the instructions, printed out instructions. So everything's there to complete those designs. And obviously, all the kits have all the needles in.
And for the card kits, what's the best way to attach the fabric to the cards?
Well, I would use some sort of PVA glue. So the idea is stitch all of your design first, then cut them up and then put them on the card and just put a little bit of the glue on the back there. You don't want the glue to come through, but just almost the minimum amount of PVA type glue, and it'll dry clear. So, but you don't want it to come through the fabric.
If it's a good permanent double-sided tape, is that an option?
Yeah, that's fine as well. I know people have used that too.
Right, just by any means necessary then.
Yeah, and you can fray the edge, or you can leave, cut them, or you can fray them, and that's part of the interest because it's a beautiful wool fabric. So that's part of the attraction. Don't cover all the fabric. The organza is really there just to create a little bit of texture and a little bit of colour, but you need to see the beauty of the fabric as well. So that's those. So, and then I think if you, I don't think we've shown these. These are the fat quarters. These are the fat quarters. So we can see all of those. Right. Okay, and then we've got those, and they're available on the website too. I think they're on that features page. But it's the fabric roll is big, so that it's a huge piece of fabric. But I don't know, I can't remember the measurements.
50 centimeters by 75 centimeters.
50 by 75 centimeters. There you go. So that's the things that we have shown today. And then of course on our website you can see hoops, the spring hoops. So you can. There's all kinds of combinations, but the 7-inch, the 5-inch. We've got 3.5 inch, you'll see those on the website, and they're really, really good value on there.
Well, thank you for that, Katrina. I've now got the Chuckle Brothers trying to get themselves back online here. We've now got the opposite. We've got sound, but we've got no vision.
Can't hear you.
We've got lots of lovely things on Rowandean.com. So if you go to our website, you'll see we've got well over 200 different designs. So have a look at the ones that are featured, but there's loads of others as well.
And postage-wise, are you guys posting on Monday?
We are.
Excellent.
We are.
Excellent. So people, they'll maybe not get it they might get it in time for Christmas, but they'll get it in time to do over the festive period, let's say.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
So what I did say there that everybody else got, but you missed, because to try and not distract you, I had muted myself to you so that I wasn't going to distract you. But what I was saying was the Chuckle Brothers have now managed to get sound but no vision. So no, we've got a black screen, Anthea. Look, there you go.
I can see Anthea.
You can see her.
Yeah.
I've just got black screen. Right, well, we'll try it. We'll give it a go. I'll try and get her put back in. But can everybody hear her? Let me just see. Anthea, can you speak, please?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Right, I've just got the iPad black screen at the minute. So
Video Ninja, you can see all four.
right,
Yeah,
okay, no problem. Well, I shall try and relink you, and we will see where we go from there. Because, okay, oh, yeah, I'm doing it as fast as I can. Oh dear me! Right, hang on a second. Which one are you? You are that one. Which is this one, and let's paste you back in. And fingers crossed this works, because I still can't see you. All I've got is black screen. It appears. Back in the room. Whew. Right, I'll just have to fix your other link. Okay. So chat amongst yourselves. I'll fix the other link, and then Anthea, hopefully you'll have calmed down enough for a demo.
Yes, I'm on the iPad too. Now,
what did you do?
Lie down, please. Sarah's already having a lie down over there. She's got Donis wafting her with an ostrich feather.
What did you do that caused?
Don't know. We didn't. So the only thing I can think is for the next for my demonstration, so our computer won't take 3 cameras. It'll only take 2. So we've got straight on, overhead, and into the sewing machine. For the demo, we took the overhead camera out and put the into the sewing machine one in. That's the only thing we did. Just pulled one USB out, put another one in, and everything seemed to get wiped out.
Can I suggest a USB switching hub?
Yes. No, to be fair, and I think this applies to all of us, and I know some of our friends who come on here are watching. We've started out, we've got basic equipment because we didn't know what we were doing, and obviously the investment, you need to be sure. And each time we come on, something's improved, something has got better. And it's just going to continue, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we're trying, and we did have to put it together quite quickly. with what happened.
I mean,
it is what it is.
We're punching above our weight in many ways.
Absolutely.
We're Quilting Antics isn't, but the technology is.
All right, I shall leave you to it and demo away.
Okay, so I'm going to just grab my cushions. So behind me we have Cockadoodle Dandy and his wife, Old Mother Hen. Whoops, that's the Spring Green Man going for a dive as well. So we've got here the two cushions, make a gorgeous pair. I've put them both on the web page, and I'm going to show you the kit, and then I'm going to show you how we do the cockerel. So we've got our Mother Hen up there for a minute. We've got our rather natty way of doing the applique where we're cutting back, and I know lots of you at home, I've showed you recently, but I know it's one of those things we're just getting to grips with it. So we're going to have another look at that. Right, let's put him down there. So you can get the pattern only, which is £8.50, or you can get the kit, which does come with the pattern. I'm aware when I did Create and Craft, our kits didn't come with a pattern because we had the book. Here we are. We've got the kit. Oh, sorry, the pattern. And here's the kit. And it's a beast. You've got loads of stuff. Because we're doing a pieced border and you're doing the applique, you've got a real good chunk of fabric. So even if you don't want to make the cushion, but you just want a good chunk of fabrics, well, wools that all look good together, that's a good reason to go for it. So let me put my pattern to one side. I'm going to switch to the camera that we think was possibly the naughty one. So we're hoping it's now, you know, Christmas is coming and it's going to behave. It's going to want Father Christmas to come on.
I've
Wednesday
got everything crossed, Anthea.
I'm going to press the button. I'm going to press it now, Hayley. Is it number 1, Sarah? Oh, no, actually, I tell you what. We'll go.
The tension!
How I get to that stage. So I've got my pattern, right? And it's got, I'm all giddy. That's what it is. Christmas is coming. Father Christmas is coming. I've got my fingers and everything crossed for a good drop off, a good drop ship this time, and I'm all giddy. That's what it is. So we've got this is the pattern I'm using, and you can see it's all numbered. So to begin with, what you're going to do is, rather than drawing onto fusible web like you used to with applique, this time you're going to draw onto calico. I don't think this camera will pick it up, but I can actually see through it just about. You can see there the drawing, you can see through onto the calico. Trace the whole drawing. Use a biro, don't use a heat removable pen, right? And then just get some we've used in our form. You could use Styleville, any of those kind of foamy products. And once you've drawn onto your calico, I'll just switch here. Here's one I did earlier. So I've drawn that on there, and I've just stitched it onto. It's great for using up scraps, look. It's a wonky piece that was just left over. And then what I'm going to do, I've got my pattern that I'm going to follow number-wise. I've drawn all the numbers. Oops, trying to get the glare of the lights out. I've drawn all the numbers onto the pattern, and then all I'm literally going to do is, so I've got my drawing on that side. I'm going to put my fabrics on the opposite side over the relevant areas. So I'm going to switch cameras and we'll see what we can see. Whoops, I've just moved the camera as well. Not a good start. Is it number 3, Sarah? Oh, number 3. And are we upside down, Sarah? I think we're upside down. Oh, right, we're there. We're sorted. Whew, it's because she's left me alone.
Right. I know the feeling, Anthea. The phrase is, I was left unsupervised.
Yeah, you see, Hayley and Katrina and Marie, we're front of camera. We're not behind. We're not tech. So I'm
everything at the minute.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? We're all learning. So on here, this is the right side that I'm putting my fabrics on. I'm just now we've got the camera balanced on a very, very technical plastic cup. So I'm hoping that I'm not going to whack it. It's
so are we keeping this one in mind for the bloopers then?
Yeah, it's held on with masking tapes. That's one up from the sellotape that was on the last one.
Oh yeah, you know, I mean next you'll be progressing to gaffer next and a few cable ties.
Let me tell you now. Sorry, I've got to come back. Let me tell you now. I did the costumes for 6, and Anne Boleyn, the green one, Gorilla Tape. That's all I'm going to say. That is the secret, Gorilla Tape. So I'm already there, Hayley. Right, am I right side up now? I think I am. Okay, so back here, back to business. So I'm going to build this, and you can see you've just got like a funny blob there, and you've got funny blobs here, and that's because the piecing order on the drawing, all I'm doing is putting fabric behind and then stitching on my drawn line. If you drew a wonky line, cross it out. In fact, I've done one here. You can cross it out and repair it, because it doesn't matter. If you do a wonky stitch line and it's not where you want it to be, you can go over it again. Doesn't really matter with this technique. So the next area I'm going to do, if you notice on here, let me get it a better way to see you. I'm limited to what I've got. The head here, number 3 is the wattle up there and down here. And how I'm going to get that is I'm going to put some fabric over both areas. If you hold it up to the light, you can check that it's in the right place, and then just simply Nikki's, I know my thread's just, I've woofed my thread through, see if we can salvage it. Oops, more or less, there we go. It's your bobbin thread that's going to show on the right side. So here we are on piece 3. All I'm going to do is sew around the whole area that is piece 3. Oops. So let me just get cracking. I'm going to sew around the wattle at the bottom, and I'm going to come all the way around. Now where it goes into the face, I'm going to take the line really wide until I get onto the outside edge, and I'll explain why in a sec. Let me come all the way around, and then what I'm going to do is switch to face on, and I'm going to try cutting it up in the air so that you can all see it. So I'm just sewing round and round and round. Cut my thread. Did I mention I'm using an open-toed foot? So that's letting me see where I'm going. Right, so I've sewn this. I mean, it looks as odd as, get the light glare, right? I've sewn that shape. Get your little scissors. Now, I didn't put these little scissors on the web page for today, but I do have a few pairs left. So if you want some, you can message me either on Messenger or put something on now, and Hayley can pull the message off while we're live. If you're watching it after the hour, I probably wouldn't comment on here because I may not pick it up. But there are a few pairs left. The beauty of the curved scissors is I can go flat to my work, and I can just go around. Okay, now the number order on here is a bit weird, and I could have got ahead, but what I wanted to do was I wanted to just put the first piece on, and you can see it looks like he's got a balaclava on, that I've covered the edge of the B cup there, the kind of this end where it joins the head, so that like tatty end has been tidied up. So I'm going to follow the numbers round. I'm just cutting that back, and then what we do is look on the drawing. Well, I can look on the fabric as well, but on the drawing, my piece number 4 is now going to be the main body. So let's shove piece number 4 on. I'll place it perfectly and precisely. It's a big one, is this one, and I'm going to just hold it over area 4, and you're going to see very quickly. Now, obviously, if you're doing this at home, you know, you're going to use a lot more care. You're not rambashing on a. I'll just turn the camera, but I'm not sure how much you can actually see. Oops. So there we go. I'm just going to go around my lines again. If you want to alter the lines as you go.
Anthea, whatever you've done, half your camera is now pink.
Hang on, we'll come back here. I'll hold it up in a sec, and then you'll be able to see. I was humming and hawing whether to go for the cockerel or the hen, because I thought the hen might be a little bit boring and the cockerel would give you a little bit more content, but the flip side of that is that it's a lot more complicated and we may not get it finished.
Have you got a duck?
Hang on a sec, let me just get to the end of this. I'll hold it up. Sorry, Hayley, you were saying?
Have you got a duck?
Have I got a duck?
Yeah.
We've got ducks, yeah, we do.
Excellent. I like a duck.
We've got one, it's called Duck Splash. So, right, I've just stitched the body fabric on. Where's the cushion gone?
I did have a quick look for the scissors on your website, and I couldn't find them on the website, so people are going to have to contact you directly.
That's right. I've been just selling them. I had some left over from Create and Craft, one show that I did, and I put them away and then never touched them for ages. So I've just been doing them on the Facebook Live. They should be, I don't know if it's $12.99 or $14.99, but I'm doing them at $9.99 if you want some. So this is the piece that I've just put on, and you'll notice there's a wing detail there. That is just stitched, and because we're going through in our form, it gives a nice indentation, so you don't have to put an extra piece of fabric on. So that's the actual finished thing. This is the part I've just done, and my stitch line, can you see it's like a bit weird? So I followed my drawn line all the way round the bottom, and then at the top here where I've come across, the line for the neck fabric, which is a bit more golden,
Maria,
is like a wonky line that comes down here, and I've sewn the body fabric yourself. I've sewn higher than that, so that there's going to be some overlap.
There you go. Have you got another demo?
Yep. So back to my scissors. I'm just going to set it off down here because it's quite hard to cut when you're mid-air. One day we'll all have our own little studios at home, and then it'll be like wonderful, and we'll all be rejoicing and thinking, oh, do you remember? It's like when I first started doing shows, and I used to sleep in the back of the van. Can you believe that? And we really I was with Mum and Dad, used to be in the motorhome, so I did have home comforts, but I had my Lilo and everything in the. Oh, sorry, Hayley, I can't hear you.
That's
right.
because
I was
talking to Maria.
Starting to get a cockerel shape. So piece number 5, I'm going now onto the tail, and what I'm going to do, because it's kind of an efficient way, is I'm going to hold that over so that I don't think you can see the shadow through. The red piece, the piece 5. Where's my actual thing? It covers more than one section, but because the sections are all behind, I can sew piece 5, 6 and 7 all in one go, and then cut them back all 3. So just talk among yourselves for a sec. I can turn the camera around.
Do you want me to quickly bob some people across to your website to show where all your bits and pieces are?
Please do.
If you need a second.
Yeah, it's one of them. You've kind of, if I jump forward too much, you've missed the demonstration.
Right, that's fine. I shall go and show everybody where your products are. So if you wanted to get hold of any of the products that Anthea is showing you, if you head over to her website, you can do that with the QR code or just by typing in quiltingantics.co.uk. And then if you head to the Secret Sewing Club, all of the bits and bobs that she's got on today are on here. So there's your cushions where it's just patterns, and there's your cushions where they are full kits. Oh, there's scarecrows down here. We didn't know about them. Well, don't think you should. I think they're supposed to be left alone. But that's fine. Yeah, you're back in the room.
Non-cruelty to scarecrows society.
Oh, you appear to be upside down. Now you're the right way up again.
Oh, Sarah's diddling with me. She's fiddling with me behind the scenes.
Oh.
I was trying to get the sewing in, but
she could just have a quick firtle and get away with it.
She's fiddling with you behind the scenes.
It's the season to be jolly, don't forget.
Well, yeah, I mean, and why wouldn't you be when somebody's fiddling with you behind the scenes?
We are extremely good friends, so that's got
good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, right, my sewing is almost complete. And then hopefully, because I've used a lighter thread, it's one of them.
I have a
You
couple of
need
people
sometimes-
actually asking some questions, which I shall
Oh, yes,
send to you
please.
now. How do you put the stitched lines on the back?
So
Hang on.
my-
How do you
right at
put
the
the stitched
start-
lines? How do you put the lines on the back to follow the stitches? Ah, you missed that bit, Penny. Or Pen.
Right.
She did that
Pattern.
right in the beginning.
calico, I can see through that. In fact, I think you can almost see through it onto the screen there. So you don't need a light box. When I'm doing these designs, I do tend to make the lines quite black, quite a dark black, so that you can see through. So just trace onto your calico, put all your stitch lines and everything. Let me hold this one up again. There you go. So this is the one I'm actually working on. Get it in the camera. And you can see now I've just stitched the three, the 1, 2, 3 feathers. Yeah. And then on this side, on the good side, can you see there? Oh, get me thing right. You can see where I've stitched. And now all I'm going to do is, I'm going to admit, it is a bit like foundation piecing where it can be a bit wasteful. But we're kind of used to that kind of thing.
So if you wanted to be less wasteful, could you stitch one at a time and then move your fabric?
If you wanted to, you could applique this in just the same way that you can applique anything else. And I'm going to show you in a sec. Get a good way of cutting this out. Oops. Try and hold it up. So I'm just cutting back to my stitch line with my curved scissors. I'm not sure how good a shot you're getting at this because it's an aerial shot and it's not easy to cut waving up in the air. But as I'm cutting,
while you're cutting, I've got another question. Sarah
Okay.
wants to know, what is the best way to ask a question to you?
Oh, right. I'm going to be completely honest, and I know this drives mainly professional people nuts. I'm rubbish on email. So that's the first thing you need to know about me. I'm well over 10,000 unopened emails. I'm never going to catch up. If you're sending me an email, bob me a text and tell me you've sent me one. So just use Facebook Messenger, because you know what it's like, guys. All the time, you've got to be on your socials. Oh, what a wonderful day it is. So if you want me, Facebook Messenger is the best way. It pings at me wherever I am. And anybody who's messaged me on there will know that I am fairly quick, even in my downtime. Some messages I do save because, you can't deal with them there and then. Right, this last one I'm going to cut. Now, talking about Christmas gifts, Anna Donis has just bought me a nice little thing to put my facey camera on, so I should be able to get a better height in future. Just going to take this last bit of feather away. And you will see.
And you've just had a quick thank you from both Sarah and Pen for answering their questions.
Although the colours are quite similar, on the camera it's difficult to tell, but that feather there is red and it's tidied up the end of the brown body. I've got the lights glaring at it.
A little bit, then you should be able to see it a bit better.
Tell me when you get a good contrast. Well, let's just go with that. Now, these lines here, they're not as tidy as they could be. There's two things going on. I'm either going to cover that line with something else, or right at the very end, I'm going to take my big scissors and I'm going to cut the whole thing out. So don't worry if you're a bit jiggity-jaggety, but you can see how it's coming together. So I've done there 5, 6, and 7, and 8 is gold. Now your gold, could do the whole, both 8 and, as I'm reading on here, 8 is a gold one, and then 3 up from that, 1, 2, 3 is 11. So I may not be able to get that on. So,
while you're working that out, I've got another question from Sophie.
Okay.
Sophie says, is FPP the same as EPP? And
No.
No. So EPP is English paper piecing, so that'll be the hexagons that you're quite familiar with people doing. And FPP is foundation paper piecing, and that is when you kind of flip and fold the fabric. What Anthea's doing is more of a applique, but yes, it does have the elements of that kind of FPP to it, that you're stitching on a line on the back of the design.
That's right. So I'm stitching on the right on the drawing, but I'm not, like with foundation piecing, you've got to go precisely. You can't go back a step. This is, you know, it all joins up. This, I'm all over the place. I can go wherever I need to go. So the next one there, where's my scissors just gone? I've just covered them up. I've just put the first gold one on. I mean,
That's
you're going to
well
be a lot more
sparkly.
frugal. Pardon?
That's very sparkly.
It is, isn't it? It's just the emperor foil.
So with the kits, are you getting the amount of fabrics that
Yeah.
you are showing there? So potentially, if you were stingy with your fabrics,
Yeah.
could you get 2 cockerels?
No, you will only get 1, because the big pieces are not going to be big enough for 2.
So if you had enough pieces, maybe you got one of the fat quarters to replace some of the bigger pieces.
Do you know what? I'm not going to answer that, because without actually engaging my brain, I don't want to lead anybody up the garden path.
Okay, but you've got more than a cockerel, but maybe
Right,
not
so
2.
You won't. Yeah, but if you're doing like normal applique, you would get more out, but you still wouldn't get enough for 2 bodies. But you might get more feathers. So I'm building this up, and I'm beginning with all the feathers that are at the back, and then as we come to the front, it all starts to come together. So the next one is, you see at the back, you can see there's how I'm stitching. It's building up nicely there. So I've just done that one, which was piece 8, and now I want piece 9, which is green, and I think I can do piece 9 and 10, which will go here and here in one go. So, oops, shove this on the, place this carefully.
Right, while you're kind of continuing on with that, if we kind of, because it's repeat now, the same technique a little bit. What I'm thinking is, we could probably pop and see Maria.
Oh yeah.
While you finish that off.
You go see Maria, and I'll do a bit more on this.
Okay, I'll just leave you in the bottom corner there. Just cracking on. Right, let me make sure I've got everybody unmuted. We're back in the room. There we go, got everybody back. So Maria and Katrina, because I believe everybody can hear everybody now. Anthea's gonna finish off her cockerel. Have you guys got any extra demos that you want to squeeze in between? It looks like Maria has, because she's got it there.
She does.
I've got a little one too.
You've got a little one too. Okay, we'll go Maria first, then back to Katrina, and then round it out with Anthea and her finished cockerel. Sound reasonable? Excellent. All right, Maria, we're heading over to you.
Okay, so on my Secret Sewing Club offer today, I've got this, which is less than half price now. It's a set of 4 royal roundels, all pre-printed onto fabric, and you literally just tack stitch into metallic threads, beads, embellishments, and there's also 4 cards, apertures actually included into this. So I'm going to just switch my camera over to the demo. It's okay.
Oh yeah, you're fine. You're fine. We had a little squeaky bum moment there. We just disappeared, but you're back now.
Yeah, I know, because I think when I switch over, it sort of does something.
It has a little lag on it, doesn't it?
Yeah. So the 4 printed fabrics are all in colour, and they're on a really lovely cotton, nice thick cotton. And there is actually 4 royal roundels for you to stitch. So you could make little pin cushions with these, or you could make them into cards, or you could have free decorations even for next year. So the instructions come all included, and each piece is actually all illustrated as well, which is good. The lights over there. So it gives you an indication of where to sew. It's all arrowed, what you're going to be doing with it. But it's also, if you want to copy it step by step, you can. But if you don't want to, you could have got a freestyle, sort of project to do as well. So what we're going to do is we've got a needle, which is threaded. In the kit, you're getting two, these are gorgeous, two gorgeous 350 meters on each reel of metallic fabric and threads, but these are actually variegated, so they're all different colors. So you're getting two different colors. This one's got a red metallic, it's really shiny. And so I'm just going to demo a bit of stitching that you do with these. So what I've done is I've just literally brought some little lines in. Again, it's all on the instructions. You just bring it up. It's a bit like, when you get those cards spirelli and you're just literally doing it with the thread. So it's very simple. And they're quite quick to do these as well. If you've got a group of 4 of you that want to have a go, it'll be a really lovely project to do as well. So you do like back stitch, following the lines. Everything's indicated with the lines. It's for you to follow. These were actually on Sewing Street in October, and they were very popular. And so there's only the last few left now, which is on the website. So if you missed them, they're quite a nice project. They're also a nice little gift for somebody as well that wants to do some sewing. So it's just showing you what you can do with some simple threads, and it's quite quick and effective as well. The little gold quilters, which are in the packet, and you get loads of these, I've just glued on with a fabric glue, and they stay on really well. So you don't need to stitch them on. You can just glue those onto fabric. And the other bits that you're actually doing then is actually doing a back stitch on the yarn lines. So the back stitch is you're coming up and you're going back on the last hole that you've gone in, just following it through. That's your back stitch. You don't need to put these in a hoop. You can do these literally in your hand because they're small enough to hold. But I use a hoop because sometimes it is good if you're using any like the metallic threads. You don't want them sort of tangling, and at least you've got both hands to manipulate the actual threads in and out. So these are quite quick projects to do. Very easy to do. You could do these over Christmas.
And do you fully fill those petals in, or are you just putting the odd few in there?
Yeah, I've just put the odd few in there, really. I mean, it's up to you. If you want to really fill it in, you can. But I think it's nice with the colour to come through anyway. And you just basically, as long as you cover your line, like the outline's only in black. But if you want to cover that, just do it by this back stitch. That's the best thing. And then the rest of it is actually quite simple. So you can sort of just put in lines.
So these are all say that they're royal roundels. So what is that? I mean, are they based on ones from royal, like historical royal families, or?
Yeah, but funnily enough, they are from Pack House. It's actually a Tudor house, and I took the inspiration from the hallway where there was a lot of wooden carved embellishments on the staircase, and each royal roundel was like a symbol, like the Celtic rose. It could be the English rose, the Tudor rose. So each one is actually named after the kings and the queens from these roundels. So they were like emblems of their time, really. but everything I do, I base it on the heritage because I'm into conservation anyway. And I just love the history. So that's where the inspiration did come from. Yeah.
Perfect. So sorry. There was a little delay there, and I didn't catch you in time. So I mean, what's coming up in the new year then? What's new that's coming up in the new year for Old Maid New?
Yeah, well, I'm on at Sewing Street. I'm just going to go back to me share with you so you can see my face.
So when are you on Sewing Street?
I'm back on again on the 20th of January.
Excellent.
It'll be a morning show, and then I'm also on Hobby Maker. So I've actually got some beautiful vintage 1940s fabrics, which is actually going on to Hobby Maker. So I'm going to be doing things like journaling with fabric. So old photographs being stitched into fabrics. Lots of nice new ideas. I've got some beautiful stitch books kits, which are everything's old vintage lace, old fabrics, because I've got bags and bags of vintage 1940s fabrics that I want to incorporate with the modern.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Yeah. Well, in which case I shall pull us all back together, because Anthea looks like she's concentrating super hard there. It's head down, bum up. How's your cock coming on, Anthea?
It's a lovely cock.
Excellent. And on that note,
Katrina, I think you just encouraged that.
I did encourage that. Katrina, getting me out of this hole, would you like, because I know you said you had one more just little demo.
I have one more
to do.
Yes, I've got one. This one is garden gate. So obviously the inspiration here was from quite a formal garden, but you could imagine that you're just walking through that gate, see what's around the corner, but actually it's like I suppose it's like a cottage garden. So on this particular design, the organza is used to create the sky and to create the foreground, and then the stitching is easy again, and that's one thing that really believe in, that you don't need a lot of stitches, you just need a variegated selection of threads, and then you can work a design, whether it's just in French knots and straight stitch, possibly I quite like texture in it, so probably add a little bit more. So this is worked on a 5-inch displayed on a 5-inch hoop, but the fabric is much larger, so that you can, if you wanted to square the design off, you could do that. But all I've done to start with, I've put the 2 fabrics over the print, and then I've just tacked a shape, a 5-inch hoop shape over the top, just so that I've got boundaries to the design. So I'm really going to just show you one of the stitches that I'm to do, and this is a lazy daisy. So this one I'm not using the hoop for that. I'm just going to hold the thread without that, and I'm going to put the needle into the same place, and then bring the thread back towards myself, and then just tuck the thread underneath, and then I'm going to, as I pull the thread, it's going to form the loop, and then I'm just going to secure that loop just with the needle going over the thread, and that's going to secure that completely. And then for the other ones, you're almost just going to scatter over the printed line. With this time I'm using 3 strands of the thread, and you're just going to go over the print, and then you're going to fill in with beads afterwards. So it's a nice way of using detached chain. Lazy daisy, detached chain, same thing. And then you're just going to I would work this probably without the hoop to start with. It just feels more comfortable to hold. And that's
how many petals would you normally put on a lazy daisy? Are you using them all together, or are you using them as little separate?
Well, on this particular, I'm just using it as separate, like it's almost like a leaf. It's part of the foliage. for this design. So I think you can. I don't know whether you'll be able to see. We've got small stitches, the lazy daisies, and then I've added a few beads over the top just to give a texture really. And then again, if you look at the design later on, we've done the French knots and the loopy French knots, and then I've added some little bits of satin there. So the little bits of satin, that's included in the kit, everything that is in the kit that you're going to use. So you just cut a bad circle, don't be good at it, and then you just cut a small shape, and that's just going to be enough to go over the printed circles. And then you can put it at this stage, you can put it back into your hoop, and I would be using the 5-inch hoop for that. And then you can just add a little French knot or a bead, either way, and then that's going to secure that little flower over the top. And then just take the needle through, and you've got your little flower. So at the end of the day, you'll have layers of the flowers just to give a little bit of texture, and just with a French knot or a bead. Really, really easy design. Just a little bit of sparkle, so you can add as much or as little as you want. They've got a variety of sequins and beads there just to create the foliage. So it's a really, really easy design. And then I've got this lovely thread here. This is a textured yarn, and it's a textured one that you can add texture in the foreground, just couching it on. So couching is just where you're going to place the thread over the top, and you can twist it into a shape and then secure it just with small stitches over the top. So this is lying on the surface of the fabric. You're not going to take it through to the other side. So you can just create a little bit of texture with that, as much or as little as you like. So it's just a very nice design that doesn't take long to do, and is quite, you come up with good results.
That's the Garden Gate set, isn't it? Which is $18.95. And
that's right.
You can find that on the Rowandean website with the Secret Sewing Club. None of the sales are taken directly through the Secret Sewing Club. Everything you purchase will be directly through the maker of that kit. In this case, obviously, it's Rowandean. So you can either scan that QR code that's in the top right corner of your screen, or head to rowandean.com, and there is a little kind of, I think everything's on your homepage at the minute, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.
Perfect.
That's right.
In the featured section.
The features.
Oh, apparently. Update from Ted. We're in the featured section.
Yes.
An update from Ted. Right. I think Anthea may have finished her cockerel, so I think we will head back together. And hang on. Hello. Let's have a look. Hang on. Unmute.
Me too.
Yes, I've unmuted you too. Don't worry.
I muted me too in case I said anything while I was. You know what it's like. You know what it's like when you're sewing.
Oh yes. Well, just whenever you're mic'd up, you turn it off.
On the old Hochanda, I was trying to get a magnetic fastener apart, and I couldn't get my fingernails in, and I forgot where I was. I went, oh bloody hell! Oh! Totally forgot where I was. So anyway, that's it. He's been done for quite a while. I'd almost finished him when Katrina started. So now all I'm doing is taking my scissors, big scissors, and cutting him out. And at this stage, while you're cutting out, you get the chance to perfect any lines that you're not happy with. So anything that's a bit clunky, cut it back. And if you go through any of your stitching, just re-sew over that area. So
and then how do you get him onto your cushion?
Well, that's the easy part. That's so easy. I'll just roughly cut his feet out, what doing precisely. So there we go. So I need to come back and tidy his feet. Right, now then, the purists among us, looking at the edge of the in-arm form, you may not like that you can see the white edge. If that's you, a zigzag, when you're joining it, will seal all that up. But other than that, put him on your cushion, whap, and then just sew around the outside edge. That's a technical term, Hayley.
Whap.
Sew around the outside edge, and he looks brilliant. And the beauty of doing them on in-arm form is, doesn't he stand out? He's not making any apologies.
Option you have got with the edge of the in-arm form, if you don't like it, is permanent marker.
Yeah, permanent marker. But I mean, that to me, I'm going to call him complicated. He wasn't that difficult, but I've done that just on that piece under the machine. So I haven't been messing around dragging anything large under you, if you've got a small machine. But I really like that not only can you get a free form applique, so you've got all these like bits that'll support themselves. You could just put a D-ring on the back of him, put him on the wall. You don't have to do anything more with him. You could like reduce the pattern for yourself and have like a whole family. And then if you've got the wife,
wall cocks, mini cocks, all.
There you go. You get the full family there. But like I say, you don't have to do them on a cushion. But that is a free form applique that'll hold its own anywhere. Obviously, yours, you've got more time. You're going to tidy it up a little bit, put an eye on, and all that business. But it makes difficult applique really simple.
Perfect. Well, I think I've done what I've been keeping an eye on questions and things. I think I've covered off everybody's that they had asked. I'm going to just double check. Bear with callers. Oh, Pen loves your cock. She says love him. And Carol Jackson has just ordered a set of those. I don't know what those she's referring to, but congratulations. Oh, there's somebody watching us in Thailand. 7 hours ahead. Oh, we're international now. So thank you everybody for coming on today, and hopefully you have had a lovely time despite some technical glitches. But every time we do it, there's a few less and it gets better and better, and it should get a lot better soon because we've got a new computer coming, which should mean that we can stream everything so much faster, which should improve the quality of everything. So we're excited about that. Next week we have White Gecko, Daisy and Grace, and Sasha Sews. So the three that we did it right in the beginning with, the original three that did the very, very first Secret Sewing Club, and we're having a pyjama party. So we're all coming in our pyjamas. Feel free to join in your pyjamas as well. Katrina looks horrified by that.
Yeah.
Do you know when we can't see you in your pyjamas, you can see us in our pyjamas.
That's true.
It's all right. You've missed pyjama week. Would you have done pyjama week if we'd asked you?
Well, that's probably. They'd have to go and get some.
You're another one. Sarah's had to go and get pyjamas as well. Oh no! You see, I love a pair of pyjamas. I then ask the Anthea, pyjamas or no pyjamas?
I'd have come in my Minnie Mouse nightie. Did ask?
And Maria.
Yeah, I'll go for it. Yeah,
You'd
why
go in your
not?
pyjamas. Right, well now it's just permanent pyjamas on the Secret.
We could have done Christmas jumpers today.
Oh, we could have done. Well, do you know what? I don't have a Christmas jumper. I have a jumper with a duck on, which I was bought at Christmas, so that kind of counts as my Christmas jumper. But do you have a Christmas jumper?
Yeah, I've got one with my dog face on it. My little Dante.
And Christina, are you the owner of a Christmas jumper?
Yeah, I've got a Christmas jumper, but they're always too warm. They're out for outdoors, I think.
The outdoor Christmas jumpers.
Outdoor Christmas, sitting outside. Yeah.
And Anthea, have you got a Christmas jumper?
I'm a bit more sparkles.
Well, see, if I was going to guess that any of the three had a Christmas jumper, I was going to say it was going to be Anthea all day long.
No, I'm a bit more of a sequin girl. Beads and sequins.
Beads and sequins. Oh, well, you can use up all the ones that these guys have got left over from their embroidery.
Yeah, will you send me scraps?
Oh, well, thank you very much for joining me today, guys. And I hope you've had a lovely time. We've had lots of questions, and we will see you again next week. We are still doing it, even though it's in between Christmas and New Year. It's on the 29th. White Gecko, Daisy and Grace, and Sasha Sews. And I will see you. Oh, well, I won't see you guys then, but I'll see you guys then. So see you later, guys. Thanks for
Can
joining
I
us.
ask something before you
Oh,
go?
here we go. Go on then.
Right, no. This is massive. This is massive. So I don't know if you all know, but every Friday, 6:30, we do a Facebook Live. You tell me what demos you want to do, and I make a much better job of it. But next Friday, my 7-year-old granddaughter is going to do it with me, and it's her dream. She wants to be trending. So please come and watch Ella, because she'll be counting all the likes and the comments, and she'll just be watching that eye on the screen to see how many people are there.
This is the thing that baffles me now, that people consider influencer to be a job.
Yeah, Granny's an influencer. Who'd have thought? If I went to a school reunion and went, Granny's an influencer, they'd just look at me like I'm daft.
Well, I mean, technically we are.
It helps.
But we don't have the millions and millions of followers that some of these youngsters have.
But when you're 7, 50's a good number.
50's a big number then. Right.